I created a tiny player in MLB The Show 25, and my goal is to get called up to the majors. Standing at 5'1", 105 pounds, we must go through the full gauntlet of high school, college, and the minor leagues, but there's a big twist. There are 5 different challenges our tiny player has to complete, and if I fail to complete more than one of them, I have to give away an Xbox or PSN gift card to a lucky subscriber. I'm making myself as small as possible in every area I can, including girth, which is why I'm named Scrawny Slugger. Even in high school, I look like a little leaguer, so the scouts are probably gonna underestimate me, but I'm off to a great start. My goal is to lead my team to the state championship in my senior year, but I have warning track power, and that might be the one thing that holds me back from completing all these challenges. However, we win our first game in dominant fashion, and after hitting 2 singles, I earned my first college offer. This at least puts us a step closer to completing our first challenge of the video, but we have a lot of work to do to gain interest from premier schools, and here's another single that drives in 2 runs. I will not complain about RBIs, but at some point I want to go for extra bases because I'm not getting any attention by being a singles merchant, and that is exactly what we needed. Our first home run of the video gives us a big lead, and I'm really hoping we can hang on to win this game because if not, we're eliminated. I am holding my breath in the 7th as the tying run is at the plate, but my teammate makes the play, so we move on to the next round. I had a monster game, so UCLA is offering me a huge bag of money, along with Tennessee, who's also a 4-star. It is time for the championship, and they're throwing right at me, so even though I'm the smallest player in the league, everybody's already scared of me. We have a lead in the 6th inning, even though I don't have a hit, and while we do win the championship, I'm very concerned we didn't impress the top schools. Fortunately though, South Carolina offers me a scholarship, so I'm one step closer to one of the offers I'm waiting for. I need to lock in for the combine because I cannot fail this challenge, but before I go, I'm gonna upgrade both of my power stats because we really need it. This is our last chance to improve our draft stock and get recruited by a good college, as there's a single, so we're off to a good start, but I want to see our new power upgrades on display, as that's hit well, but not well enough. Aside from 1 home run in high school, we have not secured a single extra base hit, and that continues, so even though we're now being recruited by 2 5-star programs, I'm worried about becoming a first-round pick. My 105-pound frame already puts me at a huge disadvantage, so I need to step up my game, and it's worth noting that while my bat's gone cold, I'm on fire out in the field. I can still improve my draft stock in college, but it would be a huge flex to be a first-round pick in high school, so unfortunately 2 singles and 3 combine games did not help me. I'm going to college, and out of the 5-star programs that recruited me, I choose Texas, and I really hope I can improve my draft stock because I'm a 4th-round pick. I do feel bad turning down my home team, but I have to complete the challenges, and so far we're off to a great start, completing 1 of the 5. We've completed challenge number 1, which means it's time for the college baseball championship, and there's not another combine, so this is my last chance to increase my draft stock. The first thing I notice is these pitchers throw way faster than high school, so it might be a rough adjustment at first, but I think we'll lock in. I don't know why my draft stock went down, but I thought going to college was supposed to help me, so that means I really have to step it up to become a first rounder. I need to complete this dynamic challenge if I even want a chance to improve my stock, and there we go, that is a 2 RBI double. That gives us the lead, but they cut it to 2 runs, at least until I clear the bases once again. 2 doubles and a single is going to be great for my stock, as we're getting interest from all of these MLB teams, and my draft stock is skyrocketed up to round 1 or 2. That is a great start, but it still doesn't guarantee we get drafted in the first round, because in high school, we were projected anywhere from the 1st to the 4th round and got selected in the 4th. If this ends up being our last game of college, I'm very worried we didn't do enough to impress the MLB teams, but I feel a lot better seeing that we extended our lead to 3 runs, and that is hit well into center field, but I have no muscle. The hardest challenge of the video might be hitting a 420-foot bomb, because so far, I think my best work is 375, and that is gonna drop. We're gonna win the game. However, before it's over, I'm gonna show off my defensive wizardry with a beautiful dive in the grass, and that's another dub for the Longhorns. Unfortunately though, that did nothing for my stock, so I'm going to the lab, upgrading some key stats, and hope that I can get a little bit better. Those upgrades will boost me from 57 overall all the way to 59, just in time for an elimination game against a very good Vanderbilt team. They have tied the game in the 6th inning, so it is my time to shine, and all I need to do to complete this challenge is drive in a run, and there we go. I go above and beyond with a big time double. I don't remember hitting any doubles in high school, so I'm glad I'm improving, but Vanderbilt just won. We have been eliminated from the college baseball championship despite an A-grade performance, so our season ends in heartbreaking fashion, and I really hope the draft does not continue that. I am begging the game to give me something good, and there we go, the White Sox take us 3rd overall. I didn't think I'd be celebrating going to the White Sox. With that, we have completed another challenge, but the rest are all gonna come at the minor league level. level. The great thing about being in this organization is I can rise the ranks pretty quick, as their best second baseman's only 68 overall. It is my AA debut, and I'm already getting a dynamic challenge, so I'm getting aggressive, swinging for the fences, and that does go into the gap, but I don't think I hit it hard enough. Even after spending all of my upgrades from college, it still seems that I need to hit the weight room, but maybe I can finally clutch up by driving in the tying run. That blooper is gonna get down. I'm going for second base. It's an RBI. That started a big rally, so we win my debut, and I just earned so many tokens for hitting 2 singles. The next challenge of this video is to lead the entire league in hits, and I do feel like I'm on pace to do that, even though this one does not drop. It is so frustrating to square up the ball every single time and fly out just like this. That's another example, and I don't know how on earth I'm gonna hit a 420-foot homer. I'm probably gonna have to give away a gift card to a lucky subscriber, because I have not gotten on base in several games, but that one's hit well. Come on, going all the way back, it's off the wall. I finally deliver a double, and with a runner on third, that's a sac fly. So that is another good game as I spend my tokens, and I'm slowly turning into a very good hitter. Hopefully that helps me become a better hitter over time, as I'm getting more consistent, but now I have a dynamic challenge with the bases loaded. To complete it, I need a double, and while I drive in 2 runs, that's only a single. Those challenges earn me tokens, which is the fastest way to level up my stats, but I'm not concerned because a 3-hit performance earned me 5. With the way I'm playing this year, I would not be surprised if I didn't hit a 420-foot home run, but even then, I am not concerned because I have a long way to go before I reach the majors. I can earn another token if I drive in all runners. However, for that to happen, I need an extra base hit, and it's been a while since I've gotten one of those. My lack of power is starting to hurt the team, because even though I'm first on the team with 9 total hits, only one of those has been for extra bases, which is embarrassing. All I can do is upgrade my power and hope that makes a difference, but I'm also improving our plate vision because our PCI is so small. Right off the bat, the game is challenging me to hit a double, so I'm power swinging, waiting on the slider. That's a good pitch to hit, and I blow it. Apparently, I'm allergic to hitting for extra bases, but I have a chance to redeem myself, and I take the walk. That at least improves my stats, but remember that I have to complete 4 out of the 5 challenges in this video, or else I fail, and finally there's a double. We didn't complete a dynamic challenge, but this was the best game of my career, and as a result of our great play, we earned 6 tokens. That is huge. I am no closer to hitting a home run, but at least I'm tied for the team lead in RBIs with 7, and while there's a ton of season left to play, I'm 4th in the league in hits. It is a small sample size, but batting .437 is very encouraging. Come on, get down. It's not gonna happen. Anytime I make good contact into the outfield, it seems to not go my way, but finally in our next series, I'm able to stretch this not only into a double, but into a triple. That is awesome, but if somebody was on base, it would have been an RBI, and I guess the solution for that is to just hit it over the fence. That is a no doubt home run and our first at AA, but now I'm waiting on the distance. That was deep into center field, so there might be a chance. Let's go, 452. I was not expecting that to happen this early on, but we've completed our 3rd challenge of the video, and all we have left to do now is to lead AA and AAA in hits and RBIs before getting called up to the show. These are hands down the hardest challenges in the video, because if the season ended right now, we wouldn't be leading for either of them. Don't get me wrong, I really appreciate everybody who watches these videos, but I really don't want to give away more money, so I need to lock in and keep making plays to improve my stats just like that. Over the next several games, I continued to go for extra base hits, but they were not dropping for me, and in just a few games, my batting average had dropped to 352. I really need to get out of this dry spell, and that was not good contact at all, but I guess that's the way we're gonna do it. Look at where my PCI was on that. That wasn't even close. The road to the show gods just gave us an absolute gift, so I feel like we have new life after several games of nothing. That is hit well into right center field, going all the way back. Come on, they're not gonna be able to get that, and we have our 2nd triple of the season. We have 2 extra base hits in 1 game, but unfortunately, they've only been good for 1 RBI, and that will not drop. However, the more tokens we earn, the more stats we can upgrade, which should help us get more in the future, and that is a jumping double play. What a way to end the game. We have finally earned our first package of the video, and this is a chance to really help us because we barely have any equipment. Unfortunately, our new bats are not really much of an upgrade, but I think this one looks cool, so our only upgrade is a new elbow guard, as I didn't have one before. Our next opponent are the Rocket City Trash Pandas, and shout out to my main man, Not the Expert. If you know, you know. I need to keep my momentum from last game going, and we start off with a bang, although I don't think that's deep enough, going all the way back, and oh yes, it's off the wall. Let's go. In our next game, we have a huge chance to drive in some RBIs, as the bases are loaded, so I can not choke, and that is exactly what I do, although I still complete the challenge with the sac fly. However, I have another opportunity opportunity in the 9th inning, and with a 4-run lead, I am swinging for the fences. That looks very promising, going into the gap, although it's gonna be cut off. Regardless, that was a 2 RBI performance, and I'm already very close to getting the AAA call-up at 62 overall. Our AA campaign has been very successful, but to get to the next level, I feel like we need some more extra base hits, so I'm stretching this into a double, and that probably wasn't a good idea. Thankfully though, it did work out, and now I capitalize on an RBI opportunity. So this Rocket City series has been very successful for us, and why not end off with a bang, going all the way back, carrying to the wall, it's caught. After a series win, I'm flopping like a fish in the gym, because I need all the tokens I can get to pass up the league leader in RBIs, as I have 17. However, my time in AA may not last much longer, because I'm getting scouted by the farm director of the White Sox, and of course I start off with a flyout. However, I can make up for that if I drive in 2 runners, and if there's any time to clutch up, that is right now, but of course I'm not able to do it. This has not been my best offensive performance, but now on defense, the game is slowing down. I'm able to make the diving play, and that should definitely help me. I did not have my best game when it mattered most, but all I can do is forget about it and move on, especially because I start off with a sacrifice fly, and you've got to be kidding me. That is a signature MLB The Show perfect lineout, but now we make a nice play in the field, so all I can hope for is that the scouts see the good in my play, as I'm able to sneak this past the defender, and that turns into a double. With the scouts in attendance, I've been earning double points, so that is 5 more tokens, and this is my last chance to make an impression, so I'm swinging for the fences. This would be the perfect time for a home run, because it's been quite a few games since I hit one, and while this stays in the yard, it is a double. This might be my last at bat in front of the scout, so I'm trying to make it count, and that is my second double of the game as I gap it into left center. I think that's the first time we've hit 2 doubles in a game, but now we get to open another package. The last one we got was not very helpful, so I'm hoping for better results this time, although I'm not seeing much of anything, with the exception of this gold tier sliding mitt. Right now, I feel like we're on pace to complete the remaining 2 challenges, as we have 34 hits along with 20 RBIs, which is good for second place, but I think if we get called up to AAA, our stats will reset, so just to make this even possible, I will be adding my AA stats to whatever we get at AAA. That is great timing, because I sim one day and I get the call up. Even though our stats reset, for the sake of the challenge, we have 34 hits and 20 RBIs, which would not even be best on our team. We have a lot of work to do because AAA is a different world. I just realized I should have added a challenge to become the #1 prospect in the league, as we're number 4 right now, but I've also been saving all of my tokens as I have 48 and I'm prepared to spend them right away. There's no doubt that all those tokens will give us a massive overall boost, and never mind, I guess. Regardless, it is time to make our AAA debut, and that is an absolutely amazing start. You've got to be kidding me. Based on that play alone, this will be a very fun season, and you've got to be kidding me. My cursor was right on the ball. We already have a home run, but we also could have gotten our first double, and now I'm robbed of a double play as well. But even then, I still earned 7 tokens for 1 game. Now the bases are loaded in my second game, and I thought for a second that was the no doubt animation. We're getting double points for this first series, so a grand slam would have gotten me so many tokens, but that home run is still my only hit, at least until this single. I'm very worried I will not lead the league in RBIs, but they just sent me an absolute gift over the middle, and I belt it into right center field. I have 3 hits at AAA, and 2 of them are home runs. So after spending all those tokens at once, I am looking dynamic and follow up with a huge double. I led my team to a 10-2 victory, and as a reward, I earned so many tokens. We are now up to 64 overall, and if we keep playing like this, we're going to be in the majors very soon. However, even though that sounds like a good thing, getting called up too soon could prevent us from completing the challenges. When we get called up, if our combined AA and AAA hits and RBIs are not leading the league, then we failed both challenges and I have to give away a gift card, and so far we're not in first place for either stat, so we have a lot of work to do. Regardless, this was a great game for Scrawny Slugger, and he's continuing to show a lot more power in his bat as he starts the next game off with a deep drive into center field that goes past the defender and turns into a triple. I think I made the mistake of focusing too much on just the power stat in AA, because upgrading contact has made a huge difference so far in AAA as I get robbed of an RBI. Even then though, that is our 3rd double in 5 games, so this combination of contact and power is paying off. I am definitely on a hot streak, so we need to keep cooking as we drive in another run in our next game, and with all of these extra base hits, I should have no problem earning more tokens. We have another dynamic challenge called Rally Monkey, and all I need is a double to complete it, but I'm swinging for the fences in the bottom of the 9th, sending this one deep into left center field, watching it fly over the fence for a a walk-off home run. That is my first game winner at any level, so it's fair to say I'm on fire. I've earned 7 new tokens and 2 new perks, and just being honest with you guys, I am not a huge fan of this new system, but maybe that's just because I have not gone super deep in Road to the Show. Our tiny player has been up at AAA for less than 10 games, but he's already making a massive impact, as he has 13 hits, 9 RBIs, and attributes that seem to keep getting better. He is also now the number 2 prospect in baseball, only trailing Roman Anthony. I'm on pace to have one of the best minor league seasons in baseball history that I add to with a huge home run into left center. Someone needs to test me for steroids because I am going crazy, and you gotta imagine the White Sox are very tempted to call us up, especially if we get something good from this package. This could really help our stats, but it's just a bunch of silver gear, so I'm really relying on tokens to complete these challenges. We have a runner on base, and all we need to do to earn another upgrade is score him, and we do exactly that with a double. That was beautiful. I think we're only a few tokens away from getting high enough stats to simulate the rest of the season, because ever since we got to AAA, I think we've been the best hitter in minor league baseball, so there's nothing left to prove. We have a chance to walk off this game in extra innings, which would not only give us some more tokens, but also another game winner, and this one might end the same exact way as the other one, although it comes up short. We still won the game, but that shows we need to work on our stats a little bit more, ideally getting all of our contact and power up to 65. That means dynamic challenges are more important than ever, and there's perfect contact into the right center gap for a huge double to start out. That earns us a ton of upgrade points, but also making big plays in the field does as well, as we turn a double play, and now with 2 guys on in the 8th inning, they drill me. That makes me so mad because every RBI counts, because I will fail this challenge if my AA and AAA hits and RBIs are not the league's best. We're starting our next game with a huge dynamic challenge, and I'm going for the token because all I need is a double. Come on, that is hit straight at the shortstop. That is unfortunate, but I get another chance in our next game, and this is our most important at-bat of the video. I'm not swinging at anything that sucks, as I stay patient and wait for my meatball. There it is. That is launched into center field. Scrawny Slugger, giddy up and goodbye. We complete the challenge and earn 3 tokens in reward. So at the end of May, I'm pretty confident that we have enough tokens to get the stats that we want, as we have 57. Now, the reason I've been saving these is because I don't want to get called up to the show too early on, but it feels really good to spend all 57 at the same time. That will get us from 64 overall all the way up to 66. And after that upgrade, I don't think there's much more to do than simulate the rest of the season and see if we complete our challenges. Remember that I still have not failed a challenge, which means I only need to complete 1 to avoid giving away a gift card. And at the All-Star break, there is a new #1 prospect in baseball. We have still not been called up in August, but our stats on the bottom are looking crazy. So I'm pretty surprised we get through the entire season without a Scrawny Slugger call up to the majors. I did not expect that, but because it's the end of the year, we can see if he led the league in hits and RBIs. Despite starting at AAA a month into the year, we played more games than anybody else on our team and put up way better numbers. However, now for the final challenges, we need to look at Double and AAA to see who led for both categories. And I have a strong feeling AA's not going to come close because they play fewer games. That is definitely the case, so it all comes down to AAA. Did Scrawny Slugger do enough to lead in both categories? There's hits, let's go. We have completed the 4th challenge of the video, and there's the sweep despite taking fewer at-bats than everybody else. He was called up to AAA a month into the season and was still the best player in the entire league. That is absolute insanity. From there, it did not take long for our tiny player to get called up to the majors, so we officially proved that size doesn't matter in all contexts.